I run a company called the AI for CRE Collective. And first off, just thanks, Andy, for having everyone and getting everyone together. This is cool stuff. It's important to get real estate folks and tech people together, especially these days and age. And a little background on myself. So I spent 10 years at CBRE. I did institutional brokerage. I represented large Fortune 500 companies with their office and industrial needs. We transacted globally with companies like PayPal, Herbalife, Cornerstone On Demand. And I recently left to start a development company last year with a partner of mine. We deliver finished lots to publicly traded home builders. So a lot of builders pursue what's called off-balance sheet strategies. We do what's called land banking and lot servicing. And on the side, about 6 months ago, we started a side project. We had felt like AI was advancing so quickly. No one in the commercial real estate industry really knew how to use it or really adopt it into their business or into their processes. And we had this funny idea, why don't we start this online platform and get a bunch of like-minded commercial real estate professionals together to help educate one another and learn from one another how to use AI for their business. And my partner and I, we're not tech guys, we're real estate guys. I'm a broker. I love cold calling. I love business development. My partner's a developer. He comes from a family office. We're just real estate bros, and you'll see, I don't do tech demos. And one of the reasons why we've grown so quickly though is because we resonate well with the real estate audience and the real estate professionals. So a little bit about the AI for CRE Collective is we are the leading enablement and adoption platform for commercial real estate professionals looking to learn AI. We have an online platform. We do enterprise training, private equity firms, brokerages, asset managers, and we also have been growing a media platform, trying to be like Andy and grow our social audience and start getting out there. So if you see me on TikTok or Instagram and I don't look like I'm so authentic, just know that I'm learning. That's harder than any cold call or any brokerage you'll ever do. But no presentation here. I just thought we would I just show my computer and we would just kind of work through a few things that I would do on a daily basis to show you guys how I use AI. So why don't we start with this? Is everyone here familiar with Granola? Okay, is that majority of people and not majority of people? Okay, so everyone here that doesn't have Granola should download Granola right now. It is a meeting note taker and it transcribes notes on its own through audio and through conversation. So I have it on my computer, I have it on my phone. Anytime I'm in a meeting, I'm just engaged with the person I'm talking to, not taking any notes, and it allows me to be present. And as a real estate professional, the worst thing to do is be on a site tour, to be in a meeting and you're jotting down notes, but you're not building a relationship with your peer. This thing does it perfectly for you. You can draft follow-up emails. I've been recording it since the last demo, so at the end of this, we'll see how well it did. But download this. Secondly, does everyone have Whisper Flow? Okay. Do people not know what Whisper Flow is? Okay. Also download that immediately. It's a voice dictation app. I don't even use my keyboard anymore, and I'll show you as we kind of go through my computer here. But download it on your phone, get on your computer. It's pretty cool. You'll see how it works. But I think what I want to do today is just a few things. So we're going to go into Claude, and I'm just using Sonnet here in the normal search. But I want to build a very simple one-page real estate development model for a retail property. So I'm going to use Whisper Flow. I'm going to say, hey, Claude, help me come up with a prompt to build a retail one-page development investment model. And I'm going to take that prompt and I'm going to put it into the Claude extension for Excel. And I'm going to have Excel build me a model within the next 10 minutes. All I want is a one-page, simple development analysis for a retail deal. And please put the prompt in the RCTF framework, role context task format. So it just did that. And what I'm doing here is, everyone probably hears prompting is very important if you're going to use these models, and it's incredibly important. So what I do before I prompt anything is I ask Claude or ChatGPT or whatever model I'm using to actually create the prompt for me. So in this case, I use a format called the RCTF framework. Stands for role. So you give AI a role. say, hey, AI, you're a broker. Hey, AI, you're going to act as an analyst at Blackstone that's been analyzing industrial deals for 15 years. So you give it a role, then you give it a task. In this case, my task here, which will come out, is to create a development model. The context is you give it as much context as you can, right? I'm going pretty quick here, so I'm not giving it much. And then the format is the output that the role comes in. So as you can see, it come up with a prompt that I'm going to use to create a development model in Excel. So now I'm going to open Excel. And is everyone familiar with the Excel plugin with Claude? So with Claude, there's all these extensions that you can download. They're called plugins. So you can have Claude work in your Safari, Claude work within your Chrome, Claude work in with your Excel, your PowerPoint, your Word. It's very impressive. I can go into it in more detail if you guys want it some other time. But like, you can use Claude within all your Microsoft products and suites that you already work in all the time. So I have it downloaded here, and I'm going to copy and paste this prompt into Excel here. Simultaneously, what I think is also just cool about everything and anything AI is I'm going to start a new template. I'm going to open up Claude again. I'm going to use Whisperflow, and I'm going to say, hey, Claude, I'm going to attach an OM for a retail power center in Jackson, Mississippi. Please review the OM and extract the rent roll and put it in an appropriate institutional grade format here in this Excel page. Go here, I'm going to grab my OM, attach it here. And now I have two different Excel files running. So it might take a little bit of time. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. I told Andy I'd be pretty quick. But anyone have any questions or whatnot? I know I'm not the biggest tech demo guy, but I think I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're just going to wait this out and see what happens. I tested it earlier. It should only take a few minutes. I'm open for questions. Yeah. Let's try it. So let's go to Google Sheets here. Sorry, I'm holding the mic. So I haven't used it with Google Sheets, but I have the Claude extension in Chrome. So look, I don't even have a Google Sheets profile. But it should be able to. It should be able to. Sorry, guys. Okay, cool. So it's already building this retail development model, and it shows you down here the steps that it's taking. So the whole point of this, just so you guys know, I like to show you this, was just to like show you how Claude works. Like, it's not, I don't build technologies, I don't build software, I don't build AI. Like, I just use it, and like, you're going to watch this happen, and with a matter of 5 minutes, I didn't even type in my keyboard, and we're going to have like a full one-page development analysis. Now, one thing I would say about just like using Claude for underwriting, because someone asked about this earlier, is all these AI models are only as good as the data you provide it. So if you ask Claude, like if I gave Claude a random OM and I said, hey, underwrite this deal for me, how Claude's going to work is it's going to go and make a ton of assumptions. And like as soon as Claude's making assumptions on a deal, like that's when you're going to get all screwed up, because it's going to go online, it's going to search for rent growth percentages, it's going to search for concessions, it's going to search for any publicly available data that it can find on assumptions that it needs for an underwriting model. And let's say rent growth in California is negative, and it finds something online that says apartment rents are growing by 20%, it might take that stat and then populate your model with that data. So like you got to be very careful with how you underwrite using these AI models, but like my advice to you guys would be like, everyone probably has their set of assumptions that they use, their criteria, their return metrics, and the certain guardrails that they put in place when they underwrite themselves. The cool thing about all this is like, you can set up in Claude or in ChatGPT, you can build a model based off of your existing template and your assumptions and your criteria and create a Claude skill, and then it's going to underwrite a deal exactly like you would the same way every time you do it. Again, Andy said I had 10 minutes, so I'm like trying to finagle within the time that I have, but we're just showing you again just like what the power of like Claude is. Any other questions?
How is Granola different from like Otter or something like that?
From what?
Otter.
You know, I'm not entirely familiar with Otter. I honestly only use Granola, and it's the only AI note taker that I have used, so I can't speak to it against some other tool. But it's pretty incredible, and we'll see how it turns out after this. Oh, sorry about that. Cool. So in about 5 minutes, it gave me this retail development investment model one-pager that I asked for, highlighting all the project assumptions, development cost summary, debt and equity stack, revenue and stabilized NOI, return metrics, exit value creation. Simultaneously, I should be extracting the rent roll over here, which is still taking some time. But I mean, look, this is pretty cool. Again, I didn't come in here with a product to show you, but just like show you how quick and easy you can use this stuff. And like you probably see online, like AI this, AI that, AI everything. Like there's a lot of garbage out there, and you gotta like kind of weed through all that stuff. But like as a real estate professional, like there's very simple and practical ways that you can be using AI, and just like it's pretty amazing that without even typing my keyboard, I could very easily just come up with a one-page investment sheet. And like now, if I had a deal that I actually wanted to underwrite or throw in here, I could start working off this and start modifying it and changing it. But in a matter of 5 minutes, I have a one-page quality development sheet that I could start working off of. And all the cells should be at some point linked. Yep, so you see here, these cells are linked, cells are linked. Let's see if this is working. This is still going. Okay, maybe I'm a little short on time. Oh, it's building here. Okay.
So are you pulling reports from reliable data sources?
Say it again.
Are you pulling final reports from reliable data sources?
For my models. So so what I do for my underwriting is I took a model that I used at CBRE, and then I use all my internal comps. I search data using Perplexity, if you're familiar with Perplexity. It's another AI model. It's built for data searching. But just to answer your question in short, like I don't let Claude make assumptions for me. So like anytime like I'm building a model, and I typically will ask Claude like, do you have any questions? Are you making any assumptions? Can you tell me what those assumptions are? Like, are you not clear on anything? And like, I'll start interacting with Claude and I'll be like, hey, I don't know what I should be putting in here for rent growth. I'll say, hey, 3%. I don't know what I should be putting in here for capital expenditure estimates for a retail development deal on my land costs. Okay, we factor in $50 a square foot, do that. So like I interact with Claude and have it build a model, and really never let it just pull data on its own. Again, that's when you're gonna get into a sticky situation where it's pulling stuff that like you don't know where it's coming from. On that point, there are a lot of purpose-built commercial real estate AI tools that you can use for underwriting. So like one example is Lenny, there's Examine AI, there's a handful. But if you're just using Claude, like you want to be very strategic around just setting it up with your skills, your assumptions, your criteria. Cool. And now we have the rent roll extracted from an OM, which probably took another 10 minutes. I don't know. How long did that take? 10 minutes? And that is about all I have to show you guys, just kind of hyping up Claude. I'm not a Claude salesperson, but I use it all the time. And then if we wanted to go to Granola and stop with the meeting notes, we'd create generate notes. So I started recording during the last demo on HOA, so it only picked up there. But I was sitting over there in the corner and it got some decent notes, so that's pretty cool. It also has all the transcript too, so if you wanted to go back here and actually look at the conversation word by word, you have that all there. And then lastly, I can say, thanks. Help me draft an email to Andy, thanking him for putting together the event tonight and incorporate some of the highlights from this demo night. And yeah, this looks pretty cool, by the way. That's institutional quality. 5 minutes. And there's my email. I typically proofread my emails before I send them off, just because sometimes you can see what's AI written and what's not. But very quickly, I'm going to go into here, send it to Andy. Thanks for having me.